Hello, welcome to a special edition of the Cheat Code Podcast. We will be doing a special interview today. I'm so excited for this young lady. Her budgeting skills are amazing, and we can't wait to speak with her to get some of her tips and tricks on how to save our money. So the Cheat Code is here and ready to teach. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go. Hello. Muriel, can you hear me? Hold on, I gotta make sure my audio's good.
Alfie,
Hello, testing.
can you hear me?
Why can't I hear you?
Hold on, let me see.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Wait.
Oh, hello.
There we go.
Can you hear me? All right, hold on. I gotta change my background because I gotta take my job thing off of this.
Oh, that's cool. I don't even backgrounds.
I'll have to teach you. All right, hold on. I gotta move you over to this other screen. You're not recording yet, are you?
It's all good. Don't even worry about it.
Listen, you better edit out this part.
I won't edit this part.
I'm having a bad hair day.
No, your hair looks great.
All right, hold on, Ralphie. Let me get out of that system settings. Okay, and then I can move you back over to this computer so I can look at you.
That background is great too. Just saying.
Oh, that's just the house. I know. I saw a machine on the side. That's that made by Auntie Muriel going on over there.
All right. So, how's it looking?
It's okay to me.
How's this pandemic treating you?
The pandemic is not necessarily treating me good. I'm having the same frustrations that everyone else is, and unfortunately, close to home, hitting closer to my son's home, they are positive right now. So praying for their healing, and then I just want to travel and hang out with you guys like we used to, and I can't. So
I know, we both miss my wife so much.
I know, and our little trips and just all the fun we had. So Black Love Crew, shout out to all those at the Black Love Crew.
Amazing. It's funny you bring up the trips and everything, and because I'd be thinking about like how you budget so well to be able to take the trips you take.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's better just to ask you.
Yes.
So what are some of the techniques you use to prepare for trips or life in general?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Budgeting. It's like, and I know when you reached out to me, I'm like, it sounds so simple, but it's hard sometimes for people to really like budget and try to stick to a budget. And the good thing with us when we were doing our trips, like we planned in advance.
Mm-hmm.
We knew like we were going to travel in July or August, and we started putting money towards it in January and just building that into our budget, every month so that we could pay it in advance. So that way when we're traveling, we're not spending from our current source of income to pay our bills, where we've already budgeted an allotment for that savings for this trip, and we were able to have fun.
Amazing. So do you do like multiple accounts, or do you just like separate a percentage of your income and put it in these specific places?
All right. I won't tell you all my secrets, but no, if you're a woman, probably especially a black daughter of a black mother, RIP to my mother who's passed, they always tell you to have your own little petty cash account or separate account. Mattress money, it used to be called. You might hide something and tuck something under the mattress. So I have a couple of mattress accounts that I don't touch, and what I'm diligent with those is that I do set up a direct deposit out of my paycheck to, starting with something small, as little as, before it used to only be $20. I get paid $40 a month. In the beginning, a couple of years ago, $40 a month, you're like, that's nothing. But when I didn't touch it for a year, that was petty cash for me to do what I wanted to do. And right now I've increased it to $50 every 2 weeks. So that's just an automatic out of my paycheck. I don't think about it. And, throughout the year, I might, if I get some extra cash, like we get a stimulus or something, I tucked my stimulus away. I'm not out here shopping for televisions. I'm not out here trying to improve my wardrobe where I can't go nowhere with. I'm not out here trying to splurge. I tuck that away until, because rainy days happen. So I'm really diligent about if I get extra income, or my friends call me cheap or frugal, I stash money like crazy.
It's called financially conscious. Leave tell
Yes.
them back up.
Yes.
Nah, that's
So,
awesome. That's awesome. How long have you been like sticking to this system?
yes. So I would say that I do owe it, and I know you talked to me about the Dave Ramsey. I feel like back when I joined my original church, it used to be called Kingdom Church.
Hmm.
I joined that church. Actually, it was a New Year's Eve of 2005, and we Pastor Hurt at the time did have a financial freedom class, and they used the resources from the Dave Ramsey. And so with my ex at the time, we went through that course with other couples that were part of the church and
Okay.
just grabbed some of the tips and tools of going through the coursework. And then I actually ended up purchasing the program again later on, when I was, going through my divorce and just trying to reset myself so that I can have the tools again to,
Mhm.
you know, get myself to where I am today.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, and it's been holding forth so far. So I'm pretty sure
Yes.
you're only going to tweak it, not change it completely.
Yes, and I brought some show and tell items because I
Absolutely.
wanted to show you how serious I am about this. Like I said, I started back in 2005 and I did not dig out all my books to go back that far. But when I tell
Okay.
you annually, I track my income. I know what I spend. I know what I purchase. Even if I swipe my debit card for a can of Red Bull at CVS, I write that down. I log my money, and maybe it's a little obsessive, but I like to
Not at
know
all.
that if I can look back to January of 2018 and see if I spent too much money on Red Bull or too much money on
Mhm.
alcohol or too much money on hanging out with my friends, I can say, you know what, I have 200 extra dollars because I don't need to buy that in my life. So this is my 2021 book. It's small. This one's small. I try to get different ones. So I just started and I
Bible. I
write
like
my
it.
goals. It literally, it's like a financial journal, I call it. And
What?
so we've only one weekend, so I'm starting to write my things.
Oh my goodness. It's
But
amazing.
I brought my 2020 book. I do a new book every year and it's full. I write down my bills if I could. I have inserts. I write down on my calendars when my bills are due.
Oh
I
my
track, did I pay my bill? Do I owe somebody? Did I pay the bill in full? 2019. Every year. So when you build a habit, this one actually is 2 years. This one is 2017 and 18. And then I brought, these are the ones I could pull out real quick in 2016. So like literally I could tell you, Ralphie, on July 28th, I did an ATM withdrawal in Weymouth for $100. I can go back and say on January 21st, I paid my light bill. It was $65. Like I
goodness.
log my money every year. I log my bills every month. And one thing that people don't do, and I'll let you cut me off if you want to ask me a question.
No, these are perfect.
One thing people don't do, like you can adjust your due date. So like if when you get a bill, they'll just randomly say, because you open the bill today, your bill's due 30 days from today. And then if you open another bill on the 15th, you have some bills due on the 15th, some bills due on the 2nd, some bill due on the 21st. You could just have your bills scattered all throughout the month. So you can call your um, I don't want, if you want to call them vendors or your debtors, whatever you want to call them, your light bill, your cable bill, your car
Mhm.
note. You can adjust your due dates on your bills. So for someone like me who's paid a salaried income, I don't get overtime and I get paid twice, every other week. I know I get a check in the end of the month and a check in the beginning of the month. So I allot my bills that when I get this check, I'm paying these bills. When I get this check, I'm paying that bill. So it helps me to really stick to my budget. So
Oh,
I'll
that's
stop.
amazing. I love the way you've kept all your inventory and information. Like
Hmm.
that will help this the following we have so far so much because
Hmm.
a lot of people listening are just new to budgeting and investing, so the tips and tricks are amazing. Like, do you
Thank you.
share these with the kids as well?
So yeah, so my daughter, when she really started working and trying to plan for college, like I'm proud to say that my daughter pays for her own college. Like I did assist her in the beginning,
Mm,
but this year, her sophomore year, is totally financed by her own saving methods. My kids were sports kids, and you guys know that I was very
absolutely.
supportive of them playing sports. So through high school, my kids didn't really work. Those older ones. I still have Jacob, who hasn't even reached high school yet, but the older three are adults now.
Mhm.
They were multi-sport children, and I supported their work. If they got their grades and they wanted to play sports, I didn't force my kids to have a job at 15, 16. So they didn't have income. But so her freshman year, we helped finance get her going, get that situated. However, sophomore year, she worked hard all summer. She already had her money for the whole entire year before she started school. And she has envelopes. I teach her how to save. She has money. She knows that she has a car now that she purchased on her own. She has
Amazing.
insurance she pays on her own. And she has to allot out of my check each week. I'm just throwing this out there. She makes a little bit more than this, but let's just say if she made $200 a week, she knows $50 got to go to my car. $10 goes to my own petty cash fund. So I'm teaching her the same method, and she's doing well.
Man, you need to take this on the road.
I tried to bring my family out. My cousin asked me, Jason, shout out to Jason. He was like, can we get the family together, especially when he gets married? Because it's like, how do you do this being married? And some people some people don't like to keep your money together and marry. Some people want separate accounts, but I do believe in at least your home account should be together. The things that you're paying for together. I guess maybe I'm old fashioned that way, but you can still have your little side petty cash account, but primarily your house should be joint. But he wanted some help with that, and we invited other family members. Jason and his wife were the only ones who showed up, and my niece one time. And then unfortunately, people just had busy lives and they didn't want to make the commitment. But I'm always here to talk to someone on the phone if they want to ask me a question or show them my books or,
Yep.
talk to me about credit. I'll help you strategically plan to how to fix your credit because I did it by myself. And just,
That's
I'm
amazing.
definitely helpful to whoever wants the help.
Oh no, you're Cheat Codes podcast alumni now. So if you do any type of conference, you're there. So you will be teaching in front of a lot of people really soon.
For free now. I can't give you all the free stuff. Some
Oh
things I
no,
do by
no,
the grace of God, but other things, I need to build my stash. So,
that's amazing. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. So wow, does this all these budgeting techniques do they help you at work as well? Like how you log things down, your attention to detail. Does all
Mhm.
that help with the office as well?
So in my job, because I'm a manager, and I'm managing staff, like it's not so much financial organization, but it's organizing the work that they have to do on a daily basis. We service clients who file disability claims,
Mm-hmm.
and those people could be in financial constraints because they're ill and they can't work, and so they're coming to us to get they paid for our insurance and they want to get
Oh,
compensated. And we need to make expedited decisions. And when you have like hundreds of claims in your caseload and every one of them needs immediate attention, I try to help my team structure how to prioritize and how to just, advocate for the client and collect what they need to collect from the right resources at the right time so that they can either pay the claim. Sometimes, unfortunately, we can't pay all claims,
mhm.
but at least we're going to do our best to kind of get the information to make a solid decision. So I do help my team with organization. And I'll shout that out to my mother. My mom was, excuse me, one of the first Black women in the organization on the Cape to work in property management. And she started as a secretary and she worked her way up to like the manager of the organization. And ultimately they ended up moving her to Virginia and she was successful in that career. But as a little girl, I used to go to the village, where Angie was born and raised, his wife, Angie. My mother was the manager there. So I'd go sit in her office and when she was collecting rent checks from people and doing the, whatever maintenance needed to be done, she would just give me the checks and say, add this up for me, or show me how she was, assisting. So I was like her free secretary to her, her free aide. And I would just help her with that. So I think I got a fondness for managing and organizing money and just my work through just being a little girl in
Oh,
my mother's office.
oh, so you got exposed to numbers right away. And we can agree that organization is one of the top starts to getting your money in order. First, you got to be
Yeah.
figuring out how to at least get organized before you at least get the numbers down because your numbers will be all over the place if you're not organized.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are scared, like, I'm not perfect. Like, I've had bad debt. I've had homes foreclosed on me. Like, I've made some bad decisions. Earlier on, we owned like multiple homes and multiple rental properties, and then we were hit with the crisis back in like '07, '08.
Mm-hmm.
The predatory lending, and I ended up losing my homes and owing like thousands of dollars to the IRS and having to get from underneath that. And then, so I'm not perfect. It hasn't, you try to do the best that you can. But I think the best advice that most of us um, are just hesitant to just start to attack it. We're afraid of really what the result is. And I think that you need to just be brave and just, get your credit reports, see what's on there. Just be brave. Answer the phone. Like, one thing I do not do is I don't avoid people who call me. If I owe you somebody, call me. I'm going to talk to you about it and try to work something out. We tend to don't answer. It could be someone calling us because my bill is late. Be honest. My
Hmm.
bill's late. This is what's going on. This is how I need you to help me get back on track. So I think it's tough to do because we're just so afraid. So I think you just need to be confident in yourself. And if you want a positive financial outcome, to just go right ahead and attack it head on. You made some bad decisions. You're here to fix it. And just one of them at a time. I didn't tackle them all at once. I said, this is the one I'm going to start with. And then I'm going to start with, once that was done, then the next one. So I did it one at a time.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you use the Dave Ramsey? I think it's the snowball effect. Where you
The
just
biggest one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I did. And so I did. I started with the biggest one. And, God provides, and I can't sit here without saying that God doesn't provide and owing it to Him. And I know sometimes some people don't always relate to that. But when I tell you there's been times where sometimes I'm looking at the largest one and I'm like, I don't know where the money's coming from. And even if I thought about my plan to tackle it, it might take me 15 months, but it actually happened sooner because something happened. And like, one example, it's sad, but it helped at the same time when my father passed. Like,
Mhm.
my father died in February 2018, and I just started, I'm going to be free of debt in 3 years, starting January 2018. And I was tackling the biggest bill. They subpoenaed me to come to court. I was going to court, trying to plead my case. I was going through a divorce, crying in front of the judge. No one was listening. And unfortunately, my father died suddenly, but he left me a little bit of money that the next time I went back into that courtroom, I said, you know what? Here, just take this. I gave them. And that hurt me because I'm like, this is money my dad left me through that, but it freed me later. You know what I mean? So,
Sometimes we got to make those tough decisions to
and I wasn't expecting that money. So, I mean, like, God will provide for you in ways you don't know and will allow you to get out of situations.
facts, facts. That is
Hmm.
amazing. That's a very triumphant story. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Oh man.
Thank
So
you.
how do you take these type of situations? Even when you're on trips, do you budget as well? Like you
Hmm.
take everything, you write it all down while you're on your trip too. Like I just bought this slushie.
So the funny part is I still track it because like all my money is saved. So when I'm saving for my trips, I actually take it out of my main account and put it into, I have a vacation savings account at my bank. My bank gives me a vacation savings account. So I
Right.
use that to save for my vacation. So when I'm on vacation, I transfer the money from my vacation account back into my main account because my vacation account doesn't have a debit card or anything attached to it. So I
Right.
have to transfer it back to my main account. So I do log, I transfer this over. And then because I'm tracking my spending on my main account, that naturally gets tracked.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not money, like I said, coming out of my main account because I already pre-saved for it. So the transfer covers all of my transactions is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So I
So
use the vacation savings account.
could you
Hmm.
do that with two different banks, or it's all eternally?
So I started with I use a credit union. It's the same credit union I've had since I was 19 years old. I
Nice.
used to be Boston Teachers Credit Union. My aunt got me an account there. When I first moved to Boston at 18 years old on my own, I've been on my own since 18. I moved out, went to school. My aunt hooked me up because she's a Boston school police officer, and then the vacation savings account was attached a program that they had. So I just took advantage of it. I have a savings account, checking account, vacation savings with them. Um,
Hmm.
and it's funny because I do have my petty cash that I told you I do the direct deposit. That's with another bank.
Yep.
It's a bank that I don't go to. Like, I'm lazy sometimes. Like, it's on the other side of town, but Weymouth is a city that most people don't know that it's going to take me 20 minutes to drive over there if I want to go in and take money out because I don't use the card for that. So that's why that money grows because I'm too lazy to go over there and take the money out.
Smart.
So I do have that one. And because my credit union is mainly in Boston, it's not where I live. So for me to even go to my main bank, I have to drive. I think the closest place is Milton. Um, so I do have that. But the funny thing is now with my main bank, I actually have 6 bank accounts with them now.
Nothing wrong with that.
But the reason is because I took advantage of, and you guys should do some research, everyone listening. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we went to that financial class, remember, Ralphie, at
Yeah.
Northeastern? And where the guy asked us how much interest do you get on your bank account, and everyone was like 0.002%. My bank is so great. They have this program that they implemented. It might be 2 years ago now. It's called Kasasa. It's a weird word, but it's Kasasa, I think, Kasasa Savings. And I earn 2.5% interest on my savings account. So why would I save in the one that I have with them that's earning 0.000.1 when I can put it in the one that's earning 2.5%?
It's like a built-in money market account.
Yeah. And then they did it for your checking account. So if I have a direct deposit, which I do because of my paycheck, if I do 12 debit card transactions, who doesn't, right? You pay a bill that you go to the grocery store. And what's the third thing? It's 3 things. 12 might only be those things. Direct deposit, 12 transactions. There may be one more requirement, but it's like such a minimal requirement to meet that I get paid 2% interest on my checking account for everything that I have in my checking account. So at the end of the month, on the first of every month, I get a reward, a Kasasa reward, like a cash back reward for just getting a direct deposit and swiping my debit card 12 times. And so it might be $6 for
Mm-hmm.
the past month, but then they automatically take that $6 and move it into my Kasasa saving, and now that $6 earning 2.5%. So I joined the rewards checking account program because why not? So I have my regular checking account that I now keep, like I have money for my house to repair stuff over there, but my main stuff is now this Kasasa account. So it's like 6 accounts in one place. It might be obsessive, but I know what each one is for.
Absolutely. No, that's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Like, I wanted to open accounts down to the appliances. So I totally
Mm-hmm.
get it. That's
Yeah.
really good. Wow. And you've learned this over time in no
Yeah,
school.
like that was the hardest thing to do. So I want to encourage, the first tip that I learned was from the Dave Ramsey program, again, back in '05.
Mm-hmm.
In order to start the program, the first homework assignment was like, we're going to come back here in 30 days and I need you to take a little notebook, a little small notebook, memo pad, and I need you to have this with you. And this was actually, I wasn't a debit card person in '05. It was more cash back then. It was go to the ATM, get cash. Debit card and electronic transactions are more convenient now than they were then.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just go everywhere you are and write down everything you spend. And so I literally committed to that. And then after the first 30 days, the second class was, now let's analyze what you've been spending your money on. And because everyone says, oh, I can't save, I don't have no money to save. But when you looked at, oh, I went to Dunkin' Donuts, not advertising, but someone bought
Oh,
this for me today because I ran out of all my
it's
K
okay.
cups. Yeah, Sharif, if y'all know, Sharif
Yeah.
bought this for me today because I ran out of coffee at home. But normally I buy coffee at home. But anyway, make my own coffee. But anyways, if you're spending Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwiches every day, $5, $6, $7 every day, you could have like $40, $50 a week that you could have saved for yourself and you could have just ate at home. So they really taught us how to analyze our spending. So that would be my first tip to everyone. Just really be diligent about tracking what you spend for. I don't care how small it is. You bought gum, you bought a coffee, you paid your bill. Just track where
Yeah.
your money went and then circle the things that are, what did you need to spend? What did you want to spend? And what was a nice thing to have that you spent on, if you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to eliminate your wasteful areas. And
Absolutely.
once you eliminate your wasteful areas, commit to putting that money into your savings account and start small, and eventually you'll watch it grow.
Oh, man.
Hmm.
Oh. Yo, anybody doesn't take anything from what she just told us, I'm sorry, but we're going to leave you behind because this is the information you need to hear, especially for a Financial Friday. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Thank you, Ralph, for having me. And I know you're helping people with investing, and you sent me my first Robinhood stock, free stock that I still have. and I've added a couple of more stocks to that
Well,
Robinhood. I don't mess with it as much because I am still a little frugal because I do have my own 401k and pensions and stuff
hmm
going on at my job that I do invest in and take advantage of employer match and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
I'm starting to dibble and dabble in that stock because of you. So thank you for that. I got a
I want
couple
to
little
upgrade
stocks.
you.
I got some fractions at Amazon and Google out there. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
keep
saying?
that too.
I've been
You know,
listening.
the Ameritrade one, it'll get you the custodial account for Jacob.
Okay.
You know, into
Yeah,
that
I
as
need to do
well.
that. I need to get Jacob started, honestly. But I do see that's another thing. I opened up accounts for all my kids when they were little too. So, not stock accounts, just, youth. They were called youth savings account. And so
Yeah.
this bank is great. Honestly, I have nothing but brag on Tremont Credit Union. Like, my kids are grown now, but when I did this, Jacob was a baby. So Jacob's going on 13. All
hmm
my children, they offered a youth savings program. So as long as your child was under the age of 18, they can earn 6% on their savings account. So low key, I'll just put it out there. I do get child support. I'm divorced now and I do get child support. I have 4 children. I was married for over 20 years. I'm not ashamed to say that I get child support. I take $50 out of my child support and I put it in Jacob's youth savings account every week because it's
Absolutely.
growing 6% for him. And I use that my son plays sports before COVID, like football out here. I got to pay 375 for his football. Or I got to
Yep.
pay, 180 for his basketball uniform. So I stack my child support so that when I have a need for my son, I'm not robbing my light bill to allow my son to play sports. His savings is growing 6% while it's in there, and even if it's in there for a short period of time, I pay for his football. And this year, because COVID, we really haven't had any sports. I'm proud to say my son has a few $100s in there. So when
Hey.
he goes, when I'm ready to do something for him, like he wants to take a trip for his birthday, God willing, we could. We were supposed to do Florida this year, but we couldn't because of COVID. I was going to spoil him at 12 with his own money that I saved for him for his 12th birthday, and hopefully I could do something for him at 13. But I
Yep.
do think about my kids, and once my kids turn 18, it turns into their adult account, and that's what Zari is using to save her own money. Kari still has his account there. He's going on 27. Larry has his account there. So I do believe in starting to have some money for your kids when they're young as well.
Yeah, so if you even got kids even younger than these ages, take
Mhm.
advantage. Compound interest is real. And you heard me say
Mhm.
6%.
For
I
a
mean,
youth savings account,
6%.
like that's
Whew,
unheard of.
that is amazing.
Even if I wanted to use the money for myself, it's like, hey, he's my kid, so I'm on there as a joint account holder. But
Exactly.
even like Kari, like my son's, I haven't even been to Europe. Kari's been to Europe like 3 times on money that I saved in his bank account.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, again from child support, because him and his father, I had him young, and his father had to pay him child support. But I'm not the mother that I'm. Obviously, you see, I don't got no weave today. I do cherish some
That
weaves,
looks
but
great. It
my
looks
child
great.
support don't go to weave. But what I'm saying is, like, take my child support and I save it for my kids, and I used it. My son wanted to go to Europe when he was in college. He was an athlete, and he went to Europe a couple of times on it. Or, if he needed, stuff for schools, he needed a TV. I was able to buy the TV without hurting because I was already saving money to do what I needed for my kids. So I just really think we have to find ways to put some little coins away because you do need them later, and you shouldn't stress to say, if my TV breaks today, I shouldn't have to feel like, oh, I can't buy myself a new TV because my lights are going to get shut off because I don't pay the light bill. You should have something tucked away to have that emergency fund. I'm not at the ideal goal like the Dave Ramsey method is to have at least 6 months of an emergency fund. I used
Yep.
to be there at one point in time pre-divorce, and unfortunately, like I said, I almost went through foreclosure again, had to save my home and do all the
hmm
stuff that I'm rebuilding that.
At least you have
And
the goal.
yeah, but I'm proud to say that I'm not in debt today. I do have a mortgage, but I'm not in debt in any means.
Mhm.
My phone is not ringing by, off the hook from anyone looking for me, and I'm just
All
trying to just make it, you know?
right. You're doing an amazing job. So great at what you're doing. And the information you gave today is like, I can't even fathom how I know it's going to touch someone's life. Like, cause I'm over here taking notes myself. Like, what? I can't wait to start my 30-day journal. Like, I'm
Yeah,
actually
try
going
it.
there to see like I don't really do much, but I'm curious. There's a couple of expenses I'm very interested in seeing, like, how much.
Yeah, everything. I mean, it's eye opening, and like I said, like that guy told us, I think his name was Nick Josie or Nick Jonas, the one from the
Yep,
Northeast, and he said even if you start saving $12.50 a week, who doesn't blow $12.50 somewhere?
exactly.
Like that's how small it is for you to start your future and your savings so that, you don't have to worry about if you get laid off that, you can't pay your bills because you're already stacking up. So, you have to start today. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To think about tomorrow.
And you don't even realize. That's fascinating. Oh man, and it really trickles down to the kids because like even my son now, I started like on purpose showing him his portfolio, and when I buy a stock off for him, I send him the pictures, and now he's like, Dad, I just got because his birthday is like a week or two after Christmas, so he
Hmm.
got Christmas money and birthday money. He's like, Dad, I got like $400. I want to buy some stock.
That's so nice.
I'm like, what? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been really looking and it's working out. So he's like hits me up every day with creating an investment criteria. So when he looks at stocks, he knows if it's not on his criteria to leave it alone.
Yeah.
So it's
We're
like
definitely going to have to sit down with that for Jacob. I would love him to be interested in that.
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. Oh man, that's why I want to get this conference started for like ages like 10 and up. Like
Hmm.
I'm thinking it's really needs to be taught at an early age, so when it's picked up later on, boom. But you kids already doing that with the financial budgeting. That's
Yeah. And Zaria, like Carrie's
oh,
envelope money, like my son is so funny. If he watches this, I don't want to tell his secrets, but you see those little internet challenges where he will not spend a $5 bill. Like he started this like a couple years ago, like someone said, save all your $5 of bills and see at the end of the year how much money you had. Like if he has to break a 20 and if you give him like 10 and ones, he'll spend that all day. But if he gets a $5 bill, he does not spend it. He saves it. And when I tell you one time he gave me oh, like gave me a stack of fives. Like, can you convert this into other money? Like, when he finally at the end of the year decides to spend it, it's just so funny how he's so diligent and so like proud that he has like his little box of $5 bills and it gets stacked. Like he gets a couple $1,000s out of it, but you will be amazed that just commit to one thing, one method that might work for you. So for him,
yeah,
not spending a $5 bill to him works and he'll have thousands. Like,
exactly. That's amazing. Like that is a cool trick. Like I never thought of starting something like that myself.
hmm
And Jacob's doing it. That's
no,
amazing.
Curry's
Oh,
doing it.
Cree's doing it.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And
Yeah.
you started so young that I can't wait to start that. That's so cool.
Yeah, like he just saves his little five, and it's just so funny because he'll have a lot of fives, and the other little, you see him on Facebook at the beginning of every year. My brother Sally does the Black Bottle Challenge. He's
Mm-hmm.
successful at the Black Bottle Challenge. Like
What's the black bottle challenge?
he'll take I don't know what the I don't well he calls it the Black Bottle Challenge. I forget what the real name of it is because he changed it to be about blackness, and
Oh,
so
I
so
like
he
that.
takes, yeah, it's an original. It could be an envelope challenge. That could be the real name, but my brother calls it, I'm going to dub him the author, the Black Bottle Challenge. So he takes a black Hennessy bottle that's empty, of
Uh-huh.
course, and he'll commit to say, every week I'm putting $20 in this or 40. Like every year he goes up a notch with how much he's going to put in every week. But if it starts with $20 a week, he'll put $20 a week in there. So after 52 weeks, you guys could do the math. I'm not that quick. He'll have that much money at the end of the year. And you have to break the bottle to get the money. And so the significance of the bottle is it goes in and it's not something you can get at easily to take it out.
Bro.
So he rolls them up, puts an elastic on and puts it in there. And then he breaks the bottle to get it out. But so then the second year he challenged himself to save two black bottles. I think he has like four running black bottles now. Like he's so diligent with the black bottle challenge that he won't spend his money. He's like, well, now I want to see if I can save in two bottles. So you just challenge yourself to say, I'm tucking $20 away
Oh,
somewhere.
oh my
And
goodness.
he'll have money. Like we went on that cruise. It was expensive. He uses black bottle money. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just throw money away blindly that if you just commit to, again, just saying, I'm tucking away this $10 here, I'm tucking away that $5 or $20, you'll have money to say, now I got $2,000. What do I want to buy for my house? What do I want to buy for my kids? What do I want to buy for my house? Or no,
Realize it.
I want to invest it or I want to save it. So you just have to
Huh.
put one foot in front of the other and start is the key.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. I can't even like I can't wait to start.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everything you just said was literally like right on the money to save money. Like it's especially from everything from beginning to end, even these little challenges. Like I hope some of you please start these challenges. It will be worth it. So worth it. Like
Yeah.
amazing. Man, well I'm not gonna keep you too long because I know you're probably at work and you took a break.
My lunch break. Yeah.
So I appreciate you giving us your input for the Cheat Code podcast. It is
Thank you
so
for having me.
appreciated. Thank you so much, Muriel. I want you to have a beautiful day, and I will tell the wife you did an amazing job.
All right. Thank you. All right. I look forward to talking to y'all again. Bye, Ralph.
Bye.
Take care, honey. Bye.